Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, in this video we will have our discussion on the remedial part which is connected with Ketu with its placement in different houses in your astrological chart. So guys, I recently uploaded this video on Rahu and Ketu's transit in the year 2025, where when I talked about Ketu's transit in the Leo sign, over there in the comment section, many people were asking me this question that, Nipun, why don't you make a separate video explaining the remedies or the kind of behavioral remedies which an individual can come up with in order to channelize the energy of the Ketu operating on that specific house. So just because guys, initially I was planning to make a video on some different topic, but just because I had a consultation over there, the client has this pressing issue which was hovering around the energy of the Ketu only. And just because Ketu also represents nature and the omens, in Vancouver since morning it was like very cloudy, it was like all raining and snowing, weather also suddenly changed. I thought it's the god's omen only. Let's have a video and discussion on Ketu only. So okay guys, to begin with, first of all, what all does Ketu represent in our life? So Ketu represents our ancestral ties. Ketu represents that psychic force. Guys, in the year 2025, let me be very blunt, let me be very transparent with you. In all the books of the astrology, if you will read over there, that if someone has done any case study, that for someone to become a good astrologer, you need to have a strong Mercury, you need to have strong Jupiter, you need to have strong Saturn. If I were to say, the only thing which you need strengthened now in the modern day and age, because of the chat GPT and the AI, so many of the astrology calculations can be done within a fraction of minutes, but still the intuitive aspect is going to have a strong say. The only thing which connects us with the nature, with the animals, with the cosmos is the planet Ketu. Ketu is the only window in our natal chart. Via opening it, you can also peek into all kind of Akashic records, all the deeds, all the impressions of your past many lifetimes which are strong and which are stored over there. Like the way guys, when it comes down to the Ketu, like the way I've been repeatedly saying this thing, that whenever we do any of the ritual towards showing our gratitude, our respect towards our ancestors, in a way we are honoring, we are fixing our DNA. It's just like that when we come across all those kind of people, irrespective of the fact that no matter how much hard work they are doing, they're not able to do good in their career. People in whose case there have been a repeated pattern, that denial of children, or there have been instances of the autism in the family, accidental deaths in the family, somehow Ketu might be responsible for that. If someone tells you that, hey Nipun, I feel that sort of lack in my life, there is that sort of emptiness in my life, there is any sort of paranormal activities which has taken place in my house, or like I have been a victim of any black magic and something, that might be the negative energy of the Ketu operating in the life of that person. If someone comes to you and say that in one specific area of my life, things never get completed, things always reach to a point of 70% of the work, 80% of the work, but they never get completed. So that might be the case that this person is actually getting operated by the energy of the Ketu working in that specific domain or house in the life of that person. So yes guys, this is what about the energy of the Ketu is. Ketu is not like any other planet, like this could be Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, which could be negotiated through remedies or through wearing gemstone. When it comes down to Ketu, acceptance and surrender becomes very important. Even in the nature guys, like all the animals which have got a tail can be attached with the energy of the Ketu, and that is the only reason dogs are very strongly connected with Ketu. And generally it has been seen, like people who generally have like dogs in their house, like even if the house owner was supposed to get afflicted with a disease, some sort of sickness or accident, any paranormal attack, so the dog in the family, dog in the house always takes all those disease, all those attacks in himself. Like a dog is going to get sick rather than the house owner to be afflicted because of that problem. So that is the kind of power which can be attached with the Ketu. Ketu actually act like a divine shield which protects us. And again guys, all those kind of people who tend to remain very much attuned with the nature. Like, people who have this capability to foresee any of the imminent kind of disaster, any sort of catastrophic event and something that might be also that person is getting benefited because of the energy of the Ketu. Now guys, there is a very famous joke. I do not know how to put it in words. There have been that debate. There was this guy when USA dropped the very first atom bomb on Hiroshima. So somehow he was there. He survived that first attack, and then he thought, oh my god, now I have to do something. After leaving Hiroshima, his destiny, his fate took him to Nagasaki, and over there as well, like USA then dropped second bomb, but somehow he escaped from the second bomb as well. Now there has been that debate. This guy is lucky or unlucky that he survived 2 atomic bomb attacks. And so yes guys, this is what about the energy of the Ketus. If your Ketu is working out strong, guys, it's just like that nature conspires to protect you. Like, I still remember when I was in India, so that time I remember, like I have Saturn and Mars in the 8th house. I was having a Saturn return as well, and during that time, whenever the transiting moon used to go from the 8th house, I used to be very cautious, very alert. One time, like I went to this Indian temple. I was coming out of there in order to go for my like regular morning jog and all. So there was this guy, like there have been those speculated kind of theories that they're like people who do any 1 or 2 day Shamshan sadhana, like they go to the cremation ground, they do some sort of cheap kind of demonic kind of ritual and practices, and then they control a spirit which gives them a temporary kind of demonic kind of powers and all. Now this guy was like dressed as a goddess Kali, and the minute he saw me coming out of the temple, he came towards me, and looking at his dress up and all, I was like, I got scared. I immediately jumped into my car and I locked it, and he put something on the window. When I was going towards the park to go for my morning jog and all, out of nowhere, I do not know from where, a bird came. It just banged to my car shield window, and it just flew away, or I do not, it just fell back. So that might be the case that this guy put something over where the nature was protecting me. So that's what I'm trying to say. When we come across those kind of people who survive any of those kind of flood kind of situation, any kind of big nature catastrophic event and all, so that means the energy of the Ketu is protecting them. Guys, in certain ways, when nature is hard bent on like appointing you or putting you in a position, so people who have got strong Ketu and they are actually entitled for something, and if something else is coming in the way of their success, of them being sitting on that throne, so nature has its own way to even decimate or completely remove all the opposition as well. That is the kind of power which Ketu holds, and it's not an exaggeration to say this thing that Ketu is much more powerful even than the Rahu. It's just like that surrender becomes very important. Going deep within in order to encash on the energy of the Ketu becomes very important. Like the way, guys, I still remember I watched that movie. It was a Brad Pitt movie, Babel, if I'm pronouncing the name right. I still remember the character of that Japanese girl. She cannot speak, she cannot like hear anything, I guess. No, she cannot talk. And she actually somehow represented that, all those people who are in one way or another way relying on their senses to communicate can be somehow connected with the energy of the Ketu as well. So yes guys, this is all about the basic introduction of the energy of the Ketu. Now let's try to place Ketu in different houses, and what can we do in order to make peace with our prarabdha, our destiny. That is what we will try to understand. So now guys, let's say for example, if your Ketu is going to be placed in the first house. So guys, look at it in this way that for those people who have Ketu in the first house, the presence of a guru, seeking a guru becomes the most important. Now guys, when it comes down to which planet can control the energy of the Ketu, so like the way there have been that theory that Rahu gives result as per the Saturn, Ketu gives result as per the Mars. Like the way we say that in a fireball, like a kind of asteroid or a comet, so the fire part is the planet Mars, the tail part of that is the Ketu. So those people who have got Ketu being placed in the first house, they could be like a headless chicken. They could be subjected to many kind of attacks in the society if you have Ketu being placed in the first house. Now what is the solution? So the solution is seeking refuge where Jupiter is going to be placed in your chart, more than the ascendant lord where Jupiter is placed. So yes, all what I am trying to say, guidance and being respectful to the nature, to people of the religious importance becomes the most important. And I guess guys, that is the only reason, like even if you will attach the designation to all the planets, like if sun is the king, even the kings and all, when they used to go to meet their guru, they used to be there like going there as a barefoot with complete respect towards the higher powers, towards their guru. So in a way, those people who have got Ketu being placed in their first house, being respectful to the nature becomes very important. Being respectful to anyone who is like doing any of the God's work, psychic work, people who are like completely living their life relying on the nature and something. So being very respectful to them becomes very important, because only if you know how to channelize the energy of the Ketu being there in your first house, your life is going to be in the auto mode. You do not have to even plan anything. You will not realize that how everything will keep falling in place on its own, because it's like nature is somehow conspiring you or helping you, giving you the best support which it can grant. Now guys, for those people who have got Ketu being placed in the second house, now there have been this saying that people who have got Ketu being placed in the second house, guys, in majority of your like investments and the kind of assets you have and all, over there joint collaboration with your partner becomes very important. Like the way I mentioned this thing, that wherever Ketu is going to be placed, lot many times people complain we are not able to finish any task on time. My Ketu is in the fifth house. You know how many times I enroll for a course, for a degree, and I have to leave that in between. I was never able to complete my graduation. Then I enrolled for a certification. I was not able to complete that. I have two failed relationship where the relationship did not work out at the last minute. All of that is the energy and domain of the planet Ketu. Ketu just wants to give you the soul level perfection and soul level connection. So guys, second house is the house of your like saving, your assets and everything. If Ketu is going to be placed in the second house, much better to distribute it in different kind of investments. Second thing is being in a partnership, like for example, if this could be your partner as well, it's just like that the risk and the ownership is being shared between two people, could be the right way of channelizing the energy of the Ketu being there in your second house. Along with that guys, people who have got this power to give blessing to whatever you say, it can come out to be true, could be seen as the energy of the Ketu working out very well for someone who has got Ketu's placement in the second house. Now guys, if your Ketu is going to be placed in the third house, so guys, look at it in this way. Third house is the house of our prowess, is the house of our courage. Lot many times people complain this thing that Nipun, I wanted to sign that contract, and right at the 11th hour, at the last minute, something happened and that deal did not get finalized. Nipun, I make lot many friends and something, but at the last minute something happens, and then I'm not able to see those people again. I'm not being able to maintain any of the friendship for a long span of time. So what is the remedy for that? So guys, again, if this is what the Ketu's placement in your chart is, we generally say this thing that try to, whatever you want to initiate, do not be psychologically in this mindset that it can be done on a first attempt. Like the way, this is what the irony of like people who have got their moon nakshatra to be of Punarvasu. That's something for which you have to do the repeated attempts. So for those people who have got Ketu being placed in the third house, this mindset becomes very important. Whatever task you're trying to initiate, it's always advisable that paying attention to the omens, paying attention to the muhurat becomes very important. Like the way guys, there is this lady, she is like born on the Mulank number 7, like born on the 25th. Sun Mahadasha, Moon Antardasha. She has already booked her reading thrice with me. Just to get the right auspicious date, she has to give an exam. But somehow like Moon is conjunct with Rahu, and after the repeated things, sometimes like I gave her, like now the date got full, she cannot write the exam, give the exam on that day. Somehow after doing everything, she again come back to landing at the only available date, which was on a day when it's the new moon. So that means sometimes like nature is somehow conspiring it to be like that. So in those kind of situation, if thing is not happening after repeated attempts, surrendering to it becomes very important, accepting it becomes important, and doing the remedies becomes very important. But yes guys, if you have got your Ketu being placed in the third house, so this has been generally seen as a pattern where whatever people start, they have to either leave it in between, or even if in order to they have to sign any contract, they have to get into alliance or something, things never happen in one go. So be mentally prepared. If something is meant for you and it is not happening in one go, so either it require consistent efforts or coming to peace that it might not be meant for you. Now guys, for those people who have got Ketu being placed in the fourth house, so guys, fourth house Ketu, oh my god, I couldn't tell you how many charts I have seen that where people started constructing a house and it did not work out or got completed at the due date. It's just like that, the cash got into issue, the weather situation, the government kind of restrictions, something or other thing happened, but it never got materialized as per their plan because Ketu is operating from the fourth house. Guys, if in any way, like, you know, if Ketu is working out very strongly in your case in the fourth house, generally we say this thing that relocating away from your birthplace is generally considered as a good remedy. And let's say for example, even if in a way you left the construction of a house, like the, you know, in your hometown you started investing or building a house, and after like reaching till the point of 70% or 80%, it gotten into some sort of dispute. This is one such case which I even asked on one of my podcasts to my Vastu teacher as well. So like when we come across those kind of buildings and all which are like half constructed and left like that, or you know those kind of building and malls over where they have been built very well, but why still there is no occupancy? People are willing and ready to go, like, you know, take a bus, take a transit, drive to 2 miles away to shop in the specific mall rather than going to a nearly accessible mall which has got all the shops. But why it's still not working? So especially if you have got your Ketu being placed in the fourth house, and once you have faced that kind of situation, in a way you have already honored the energy of the Ketu. But generally we say this thing that relocating away from your birthplace is always considered as a good remedy. Now guys, if your Ketu is going to be placed in the fifth house, now guys, it is generally considered as a matter of concern because many of the, like, you know, we say abortion or miscarriage generally happens when Ketu is going to be placed in the fifth house. Now generally the recommended remedy, because Ketu in the fifth house is also responsible, where I have come across those charts where people who were not able to finish their speculated kind of education on time. So generally guys, let's say for example, even if you have to, like, you plan to do a management kind of course, I would say that if your Ketu is going to be placed in the fifth house, it's not like, it is generally advisable to even pay a small portion of fees for any course or certification which you're not very serious or willing to complete. Okay, so let me give you a very simple example. Now let's say for example, you wanted to get into a nursing school, or you wanted to get into any of the, like, this could be any of the aviation kind of course. Now that is what your main primary focus or objective is, to become that or complete that course. So I would say that you can also enroll for a small coaching institute and pay your complete fees over there, so that if Ketu has to strike you, at least it is going to strike you over there, which at a course which was not that important for you, and the other thing which is a part of your plan, you will be able to complete it. So these kind of substitute remedy generally works out very well. And again guys, if your Ketu is going to be placed in the fifth house, generally we say this thing that you shall and you should only get married to a person who is going to have fifth house devoid of the presence of the Ketu, and nothing could be better than that. If Jupiter is in any way giving aspect to the fifth house, that could be the best matchmaking kundli, because individually if one person, and especially if a female is going to have Ketu being placed in the fifth house, we say this thing that the person is going to be very spiritual, you will have interest in yoga, in the mantra sadhana and something, but Ketu in the fifth house is responsible for giving a miscarriage as well. So the alternative remedy for you is that you shall get married to a person. At a time of doing the matchmaking, it becomes very important that the person you are getting married to shall not have the impact or energy of the Ketu being there in the 5th house, because it's the mother who is going to be, you know, having the baby in the womb, and she has to go through the whole turmoil and pain of the miscarriage and all. Like, you know, father also has to brunt the heat of that, the pain of that, but it's the female who get the most affected. So generally recommendation is that always at a time of doing the matchmaking, the other person shall have the 5th house devoid of the energy of the Ketu. A lot many people say that those who have Ketu being placed in the 5th house, some of the ancestor departed elderly family member is reborn as a kid. That potential cannot be overlooked. Now guys, if you are going to have your like Ketu being placed in the 6th house, so guys, if you are of that mindset that like you are going to be consistent and stable in one job, that somehow tend to remain difficult, because Ketu being placed in the 6th house, it is generally a sign, like it is generally recommended that you shall be working in a field where you can work as per your own like decided hours, or something like people who work as freelance, people who are self-employed can also be attached in the cases of if Ketu is going to be placed in the 6th house, because generally I have seen that these people find it very difficult to retain a job for a long span of time. In their resume, you will come across like lot many breaks and interruption in the consistent flow of the job in their work tenure. Generally guys, it has been advised that if your Ketu is going to be placed in the 6th house, so in a way, if even if there is certain portion of the loan which you have on your name, it generally act as a remedy in order to honor the energy of the Ketu being placed in the 6th house. Now guys, if your Ketu is going to be placed in the 7th house, now guys, 7th house Ketu is a sensitive energy to deal. To begin with, beyond any doubt, 7th house Ketu generally drives someone towards the soul level connection, because a lot many times people say this thing that I'm married to a person who is not very much invested in me. The person I'm married to has got a very detached kind of partner. So guys, the alternative substitute remedy for you is that look for a partner who's going to be very spiritual. So that will actually work as a very good remedy, because in a way you have honored the Ketu being there in your 7th house. And if you have Ketu being placed in the 7th house, do not be a doer in any of the major outcome in the relationship. Like even if marriage is not working out, it has not become that much suffering giving to you, even if it is not causing you that much suffocation or suffering, so you shall not be the one who is going to be calling the shot. In a way guys, if you're deliberately heading for divorce, asking for divorce, or doing things in a way, you are like disrupting the natural flow of the energy flowing in your 7th house. This could be a case that you're already offending the omens or the nature or the gifts which the God and the universe has given to you. So wheresoever Ketu is placed in your natal chart, just surrender to that house. Be a witness to that house rather than a doer of that house. That is what I'm trying to tell you. But yes, Ketu being placed in the 7th house, whatever connection it gives, it is something where we have some sort of give and take being pending from the souls from the past lifetime. Guys, if you have got Ketu being placed in the 8th house, learning astrology, doing astrology becomes like a remedy for you. Now it's not like something which you are doing as a choice, it is like a remedy, because otherwise if you have Ketu being placed in the 8th house and Ketu will get active in its dasha, it is going to be responsible for causing issues where we say this thing that something suddenly happened which completely turned around your life, or people who get stranded, who become a victim of the any of the natural calamities, and something that could be the one of the outcome of Ketu in the 8th house working out negatively. But only guys, if you are in any way, in any capacity, you follow very organic, very naturalistic kind of life, you follow astrology, you give attention to the omens, you love birds, you love animals, in a way you're honoring the energy of the Ketu. Now guys, if your Ketu is going to be placed in the 9th house, so guys, we generally say this thing that for the 9th house Ketu, your faith becomes very important. It has been generally seen that those who have Ketu being placed in the ninth house, Ketu is the energy of the detachment. Ketu represents that specific area of life where things never get completed. So when we talk about ninth house is also the house of the higher wisdom, of the learning. I've come across lot many people who have been thinking and their PhD is something is getting delayed. You know, they're not able to finish that on time. So that could be the energy of the Ketu in the ninth house working out adversely. Now comes the question, what is the remedy? So guys, going to your roots becomes very important. Like the way in Hinduism, we have our ancestral god, our Kul Devata, our Gram Devata. Being very respectful towards them is very important if you have got Ketu being placed in the ninth house. Contributing for any of the omens, any of the rituals becomes very important if you have got Ketu being placed in the ninth house. Now guys, if you have got your Ketu being placed in the 10th house, now Ketu, which represents the energy of the incompletion. Now what you can do? So there could be alternative ways. This could be a case that you are in a nature of work where you have got this capacity to work freelance, you are self-employed, you decide your own hours and then you do the job. That could be one way of looking at it. Second thing is you are in a partnership nature of work over where the profit is being and the efforts and the risk is being divided between 2 or 3 people. That could be the right way of approaching with this placement. And the last, this could be if you feel that whatever efforts you put, you do not get the due recognition for that. So if you're like doing 100 and you're getting like 60 for that, much better if you are doing 2 part-time jobs. In a way, 60 and 60 will still give you 120, which is still much better. So this is a way over where all the risk, all the uncertainty is being divided into venture. This is the right way of channelizing the energy of the Ketu. Now guys, if you have got your Ketu being placed in the 11th house, now what you can do? So guys, 11th house Ketu is generally considered as, like in certain cases, I have seen in the charts of the many celebrities who are at the peak in the prime of their career. This is the power of the Ketu, because Ketu, which represents the hoisted flag, like the way even when Arjuna was in that war with the Kauravas, like the flag on the top of that chariot was representation of the Ketu only, and the Lord Hanuman in a way was representing that. So guys, generally we say this thing that if you're like Ketu is being placed in the 11th house, Ketu somehow represents the energy of the detachment, of the surrender, of the denial. We generally say this thing that whatever you are doing, always do it with that mode of the surrender becomes very important. Whatever plans you have, it is much better before you have manifested that plan. Do not share it with everyone. Do not go around beating the drums of your plans, or even to an extent I would say do not pre-live it. Like lot many times people have this mindset that they are already in that mindset that things are gonna get happened. They are already living that kind of vibe. They are sharing their plans with everyone. If your Ketu is going to be placed in the 11th house, guys, simply put, Ketu is an energy which is very much open towards the omens, towards the curses, towards the blessing. Now, we do not know the kind of people we are sharing our plans, the kind of intention which they have for us. So, like the way, guys, when I go to the Hindu temple, especially in the Shiva temples and all, I see this thing, this habit which people do, that after doing the Abhishekam of the Shivlinga, once they reach the Nandiji, they whisper their wish in the ears of the Nandi. So I would say that if you can do that, it's fine, but never ever make your plan too public before they have already got manifested, or you are seeing the well execution of any of your plans. And again, guys, it is much better that, you know, people who have got multiple planets being there in the 11th house, it is always recommended to these guys that you would have multiple channel of income. And if your Ketu is going to be placed over there, you never know when there is going to be any disruption or a break in one flow of the income. So it is always better to have your apples being placed in 2 or 3 baskets rather than all the fruits in one basket, and if something happens then you are left with all kind of problems and all. So this is the right way of approaching the energy of the Ketu being there in the 11th house. There is going to be break, there is going to be disruption, so just plan your profits accordingly and do not make any of your goals public beforehand. And guys, if you have got your Ketu being placed in the 12th house, so guys, beyond any doubt, 12th house is kind of a domain where Ketu flourishes very well. Ketu is the planet of the spirit world. Ketu is the planet of the all the extraterrestrial, all the other dimensions, all of that is generally connected with the Ketu. If Ketu is going to be placed over there, we generally say this thing, that why Saturn in the 8th house is considered as good. Wherever Saturn sits, it just try to delay things or destroy things. Obviously, in the 8th house, it is going to delay your death. So, in a way, Saturn in the 8th house is considered as good. Same is the way Ketu in the 12th house is considered as good. Ketu can be seen as a conduit, as a satellite station, as a medium, which somehow connects us with the other entities, other dimension. And guys, when we say this thing that, you know, all those kind of people who remain lucky, they are being supported by the omens. They are always at the right time, at the right place. This could be the energy of the Ketu which is working and operating through them. And generally, guys, we say this thing that if you have any of your income, any of your venture connected to the foreign land, it is always right way of channelizing the energy of the Ketu, because in a way, otherwise, if you are being close to your birthplace, Ketu's energy can actually be responsible for causing disruption or causing problem. If you are a kind of person who participate in many of the spiritual retreats, you take out time for the meditation, you're a kind of person who is very much driven towards the self introspection, then I would say that you are in a way honoring the energy of the Ketu being there in the 12th house, and it will not make you subjected to problems otherwise, which if Ketu is placed in the 12th house, it could be responsible for major heavy losses. So in a way, you're honoring the energy of the Ketu, but in a constructive way. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.